9 things to tell yourself every morning, backed by psychology. Every single day, before the world tries to tell you who you are, you must remind yourself of who you really are. Psychology has proven this. The way you talk to yourself in the morning, the thoughts you plant before your day begins, become the mental program that shapes your reality. If you wake up and allow chaos, distractions, and negativity to decide your mindset, then you live in reaction. But if you wake up and choose deliberate thoughts, rooted in psychology and self-mastery, you live in control. So today I will share with you 9 things you must tell yourself every morning, each one backed by science, each one capable of rewiring your mind, shaping your behavior, and strengthening your identity. Listen carefully, repeat them to yourself, and watch what happens when you begin to live by these words. 1. I control my actions, not the world. Every morning, remind yourself, I control my actions, not the world. This comes from a psychological truth known as the locus of control. People who believe they control their own actions, called an internal locus, are more resilient, more confident, and more successful. Those who believe everything is fate, chance, or other people's fault, an external locus, tend to feel powerless. Life will throw obstacles. People will disappoint you. Circumstances will shift. But psychology proves this. What truly matters is the story you tell yourself about those obstacles. If your story is, I control my choices, my effort, my response, then you are free. So every morning, ground yourself in this truth. The world is chaos, but my choices are order, and that is enough. 2. Failure is feedback, not the end. Say it with me, failure is feedback. Psychologist Carol Dweck discovered what we now call the growth mindset. People who see failure as a signal to learn, rather than a permanent identity, achieve more, persist longer, and adapt faster. When you fail, your brain lights up. Neurologically, mistakes are moments of growth, firing new connections. But only if you frame them correctly. Every morning, remind yourself, I do not fail, I learn. And every failure carries a message, if I'm willing to listen. So when life knocks you down, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this teaching me? 3. My worth is not defined by others. Human beings are wired for approval. The brain releases dopamine when we get likes, validation, or praise. But psychology also shows the danger of living for external validation. You become addicted to other people's opinions. This is known as social comparison theory. The more you compare yourself to others, the less happy you feel. Every morning, tell yourself, my worth is not defined by others, not by their compliments, not by their criticism. I am not in competition with anyone. I am on my own path. The only person I must compare myself to is the person I was yesterday. 4. I focus on progress, not perfection. Psychologists call it the perfectionism trap. The need to be flawless leads to procrastination, burnout, and paralysis. But the truth is this, progress, even in small steps, compounds. James Clear calls it the 1% rule. If you improve 1% every day, you transform your life. Every morning, remind yourself, I do not need to be perfect. I only need to be consistent. Perfection is a prison. Progress is freedom. 5. My emotions are signals, not commands. Psychology teaches us something powerful, emotional regulation. Your emotions are real, but they do not control you. Anger, sadness, fear, anxiety, they are signals like road signs, but you decide whether to obey them. Every morning, tell yourself, I am not my emotions. I am the observer. I listen, but I decide. When you master this, when you pause before reacting, you unlock what psychologists call emotional intelligence, the greatest predictor of success in relationships and leadership. So let emotions speak, but let reason decide. 6. Gratitude rewires my brain. Neuroscience shows that gratitude literally reshapes the brain. Studies at UC Davis prove people who practice gratitude daily sleep better, feel happier, and even have stronger immune systems. Every morning, tell yourself, I am grateful, not just for the big things, but for the small, for the breath in my lungs, for the people I love, for the chance to try again. Gratitude doesn't ignore problems. It gives you the strength to face them. Remember this, a grateful brain cannot hold fear at the same time. 7. Discomfort is growth. Your brain is wired for comfort, but growth only happens in discomfort. Psychologists call this the zone of proximal development, the place just beyond your comfort zone, where learning is maximized. Every morning, remind yourself, discomfort is not danger. It is progress. When I feel resistance, it means I'm expanding. When I feel fear, it means I'm on the right path. So lean into discomfort, because comfort never made anyone stronger. 8. I choose discipline over motivation. Motivation is temporary, it rises and falls. Psychologists call this the motivation trap, waiting until you feel ready before acting. But discipline is permanent. Discipline is doing what must be done whether you feel like it or not. Every morning, tell yourself, I cannot rely on motivation, but I can train discipline. And discipline, once built, carries me when my emotions cannot. 9. Today is not guaranteed. Live it fully. Finally, tell yourself this truth. Today is not guaranteed. Psychologists studying mortality salience, the awareness of death, found that when people confront life's brevity, they live more authentically. They waste less time. They love harder. They pursue meaning. Every morning, remind yourself, I may not get tomorrow, but I have today, so I will live it, with purpose, with courage, with love. These are the 9 things to tell yourself every morning. Not empty affirmations, but psychological truths. Truths that will rewire your mind, reshape your identity, and redirect your actions. Repeat them, live them, and watch your life transform. Because your mornings are not just routines. They are the blueprint of your destiny. Now go and live deliberately,